lovely.
Doesn't it feel like Christmas?
Feels so lovely.
Doesn't it feel like Christmas?
Oh.
Yes, it feels like Christmas.
I'm gonna show you guys today literally everything I eat in a day to maintain this physique. Like, a lot of times people ask me like, oh my god, what's your eating routine? What do you eat? How do you keep a body like that? How do you get a body like that? Truth be told, it took me literally 8 years, okay? 8 years of hard work at the gym, a lot of proper eating, clean eating, being intentional about what I do for me to achieve this body. Now, I'm not saying you should look like me. I'm not saying I should be your body goals, because I don't believe in choosing another person to be your particular body goals, because even if you were to eat the exact same thing as I ate and work out the exact same way as me, you will not look like me. Let's just get that straight out the way. But I do want to share with you guys a few like tips and things that you can incorporate into your eating habits, your day-to-day, so that you can just have a healthier lifestyle and you can get closer to the body that you want for yourself based on what your body is capable of looking like. I hope that makes a lot of sense to you guys. So hopefully this can give you guys some type of inspiration, some type of ideas on what you yourself can cook and make for your meals so that you can get your protein intake in, because ideally you want to hit about 30 grams of protein per meal. In addition to your snacks, like you can have a Greek yogurt parfait, you can have a protein shake, all that good stuff you're going to see in this video. I'm also meal prepping today, so I'm setting myself up for the week. I like to meal prep for at least the next couple of days, because personally, I can't eat the same thing every single day for a whole week. It's just not for me. I'm not a bodybuilder. I'm not competing. Anyways, let's go to the kitchen and let's make some protein pancakes for breakfast. So for breakfast, I'm making the Kodiak protein pancakes birthday cake flavor. Honestly, I see my girl Shay have this all the time, and I was like, hey, let me just try this out. And I've been hooked since. I literally have this every single week for months, and I just add in some ground cinnamon, and then I put some almond vanilla flavored milk, and I'm good to go. Personally, if you guys want to add some more protein in there, you can definitely add some eggs, because this in itself is about 16 grams of protein. So what I do to add some more protein in is I have turkey bacon with this, which is an additional 15 grams of protein. I don't count really my calories or like how much carbs I'm having. I just try to count my protein because I want to just make sure that I'm hitting enough protein for the day. With my turkey bacon, I actually place them in the air fryer instead of frying it on a pan for 10 minutes on 380, and I feel like it comes out perfectly. And then for the pancakes, I actually have this pancake machine maker that my sister got from Walmart, and it's literally the best thing ever, because I cannot tell you guys the amount of times I have burnt my pancakes in the past because I leave it on the pan for too high or I leave it on for too long. But this, you literally put it in there, it controls the heat, and after 2 minutes, it makes the perfect pancake. Like, look at that. It's not as fluffy because it's protein, but it's still really, really good. And whenever I have my protein pancakes, I usually make about 3 per serving, and then I add some type of fruit on top, just because this is honestly like the easiest and best way for me to get my fruits in for the day. Then I add my turkey bacon, and listen, I put my syrup on top of my turkey bacon. If you know, you know, and if you don't know, you have to try it before you knock it, because it's honestly so good. It's kind of like having candied bacon. And of course, I have to have my coffee in the morning. So here I'm just putting in my vanilla bourbon creamer, adding my oat milk because I literally love oat milk with my coffee. It just gives it a nice like creamy flavor. Then I add my cold brew, mix it all up, and literally have this every single morning, a nice cold latte. So for lunch, I'm having some extra lean ground beef, but I'm actually meal prepping this at the same time, so that's why I'm making a big batch of it. I found, you guys, a really high percentage of lean beef. It's 90% to 10%, which means 10% fat and 90% of lean beef. So what that actually means too is that it's more closer to the macros of chicken breast, which I love, because chicken breast, if you don't know, has like the highest amount of protein per like macros, whereas extra lean ground beef, the closer you get to like lean beef and the lower percentage you have of fat, gets you closer to having the same macros of chicken breast. I hope that makes sense. And for me, I love ground beef. Like, I can have this, I literally do have it actually every single week. It's super versatile. I cook it down like this, and then I'll have it with some pasta, I'll have it with tacos, I'll have it with some rice. I'll even make sometimes like a supreme fry, where I'll like bake some fries in the air fryer, put this on top, add some cheese, add a little like salsa with tomatoes, corn, and it's so good. Because I actually wanted to make this more of like a meatier sauce than a more liquidy sauce, if that makes sense, I added a whole container of sauce, and then I added just a bit more water in there just to kind of like get every single ounce of that tomato sauce in the meat. And then I mix it all up. I re-add the same seasoning that I added in the meat earlier that you guys saw me show you, and then I let that simmer down for almost a bit like 40 minutes to really bring out the flavor in it, because essentially the meat is already cooked and it's not gonna like further cook or overcook by letting it simmer for an extra 30 minutes. So for dinner, I'm actually gonna make some salmon, but I wanted to show you guys a hack on how to get the skin off of the salmon in like literally seconds. So what you wanna do is just pour hot water all over the skin. I'm using actually hot water from a kettle, but I advise you guys not to actually do this in a bowl because the salmon literally just soaked up all of that hot water. So maybe just do this like in a sink, because you have to pour the water out. This just makes no sense how I did it. I wasn't thinking this through. But as you guys can see, it literally just peels off. So you don't even have to like scale the salmon or anything. If you want to keep the skin on the salmon, then obviously don't do this. But like, look how effortless that is, guys. Literally saw that from TikTok. Gotta love it. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm actually gonna clean my salmon. Usually what I clean it with is like lemon water, but I didn't have any lemon, so I'm just using some vinegar and water. I let that soak for a little bit, and then I rinse it all off really well, because you don't want your salmon to taste like vinegar. And then once I rinse it all off, I'm then gonna pat it dry, because salmon is a fish that does absorb a lot of water, especially when you like soaked it in vinegar and stuff. So I'm using a paper towel to just really take out all that moisture. So once I finished patting the fish dry, I went ahead and put my seasonings. Usually if I'm eating the same day, I like to let it sit there for at least an hour long, just to have the season really absorb in the food. But ideally what I would do is, if I buy it, I would just clean it and season it right after buying it, and then I'll just freeze it, and then when I'm ready to have it, I'll defrost it and cook it. Because one, it's just easier for me to just cook something that's already cleaned and seasoned, and two, it just tastes so much better when you let your food actually just like sit in the season and let the food really absorb the season. Just so much better. So after letting the salmon sit in the marinade for like over an hour, I was ready to cook it, and obviously I'm making it in the air fryer because I just love the air fryer. It's so convenient and quick, and I can just put it on and walk away and not worry about it getting burned. So I'm just putting now the marinade on top of the salmon, and my salmon unintentionally has these slits, I think because I had it in the hot water like from the bowl, but it's perfect because it allows the seasoning to actually like fall and absorb really inside of the salmon. So for the salmon, what I do is I put it on for about 10 to 12 minutes at 380 in the air fryer, and to me personally, I feel like that's the perfect cooked, because it just allows it to fall off of the fork as you break it apart. Now my salmon portion that I made is literally good enough for 2 meals, so I'm gonna have that today and then also for tomorrow. So for my dinner tonight, I'm actually gonna have my salmon with some steamed rice and asparagus. I didn't show you guys how I made the rice and the asparagus because I just assumed everyone knows how to make steamed rice. And also with the asparagus, I don't make them as like a batch or meal prep them. I make my vegetables literally the day of because I just feel like it's more fresh that way. And then of course I'm adding my ketchup, because one thing about me, I'm gonna add ketchup on everything because I think ketchup just makes everything taste good. And then I'm just have myself a nice glass of water. I tend to have water with every single meal just to help get my intake of water for the day in. And yeah, guys, that's literally everything I eat in a day typically. Hopefully you guys liked this video, and if you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you tomorrow for another video. Bye.